Welcome back to Star-Crossed Kings, everybody. It is going to be Barton. King Barton, he has dethroned one king, or I should say won one power struggle. He has won one power struggle, defeated one challenger, Sidolio, and now things are getting pretty serious. His next challenger is Paul. He has, at least one point in time, been number one on the leaderboard as Soviets, Oster, U.S. forces. Or no, not Oster. Oberkommando West. I think number 9 is Oster. He has been number 1 as at least 3 different factions. And top 10 as all 4 at least one point in time. This guy in auto match is undeniably and undisputably a beast. But we have yet to see any big wins from him in tournament competitive play. Let's see if he can take control of the Star-Crossed King's throne today. He's going to take another shot at it. Barton will be defending his title against him as Oster in the south of Minsk Pocket, Paul playing as Soviets in the north. We've got shock rifle, mechanized support, and guard motor coordination against Barton's mechanized assault, mobile defense, and lightning war. Take a look at their capping orders. We've got Barton going straight right. Conscripts also going straight right, while Paul wires off his own fuel point a little here. And he's going tier 1 into a sniper. And Paul, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Paul's letter to the balance team that he wrote somewhat recently. Whether or not you agree with it, it's pretty clear that it generated a lot of attention on the forums. A lot of people chipped in. And one of the things he mentioned in that post was that he thinks the Soviet sniper might have been over-nerfed and it could use a cost reduction. He doesn't want a reversal of the nerf, he just wants a cost reduction for the sniper now that it can no longer sprint. I myself am not sure that's necessary. But he only wants to bring it from 360 to 320, so it's not exactly a huge change. I don't think it's a change that's necessary. I feel the Soviet sniper performs pretty well, even without any further changes, but apparently he thinks that the Soviet sniper is underperforming, but clearly not underperforming enough not to field it on Minsk Pocket, a map on which it should perform extremely well. And it's making its way over to the right side right now. Barton blobbing up his grenadiers here. He certainly loves himself a good gren blob, even on Stalingrad. It'll probably work a lot better on this map than it did on Stalingrad, though. Sniper working on the center point, and combat engineers have headed left. This squad of conscripts moving to support the sniper, provide vision if possible. Grenadiers are about to walk right into it. If it doesn't start kiting right now, it will probably be forced to retreat. There it goes, kiting left. Takes a pretty nasty volley right there, needs a camo. Does make it to yellow cover. Conscripts move to screen. Oh, that could be a wipe. That was a big volley from those conscripts. Not quite. So close. Paul decides not to continue kiting. And we'll retreat that sniper off the field. Ooh, and Barton gets a big hit on retreat, and one of the sniper models does die. And those conscripts look like they will be forced to retreat. This sniper opening from Paul, struggling against that 3 grenadier opening. There's just too much infantry to chew through. His conscripts aren't able to keep up. Flamethrower from Paul. He's going to try and get a lucky crit here, but he'll probably be forced to retreat. Barton will split his forces up. It looks like Paul's going to get forced off the field with no lucky flame crits, although he does kill one grenadier squad right there. First squad of conscripts moving up to hold the line. Snipers reinforcing in the base. And he built the tier 1 structure here so that he could reinforce on the move out of his base. Interesting nuance right there. By building the structure right there, he can reinforce his sniper as it's walking from HQ back to the battlefield. Kind of interesting. Left side munitions are in Paul's control, and he has gone double sniper. I'm wondering how Barton will react to this decision by Paul to go double sniper. We might see him go scout car to try and take that out. Battle phase 1 has been researched, so it looks like that's what he's planning. He's done a good job of managing the threat of the sniper thus far, forcing it to retreat as soon as it hits the field, and the initial sniper has only 2 kills. And there's now a fresh one available to support in engagements as well. Barton probably making the right call by not purchasing any team weapons. His team weapons against double sniper would be forced to retreat quite quickly. Grenadiers can close the distance and try and force retreats a little more effectively. Conscripts providing vision. Snipers in the back. And as soon as Paul hits 2 command points, chooses guard motor coordination. So he's going to field guards to provide protection for his snipers from what I assume will be Barton's scout car. Building himself tier 2 right now. Flamethrower spots a grenadier squad over here. Rifle grenade onto the conscripts in green cover, easily dodged. Another rifle grenade, also dodged. 60 munitions just spent by Barton on rifle grenades that do not hit their targets. And Paul will take full control of both fuel points. Still holds the left side munitions point. Barton was looking for some sort of flanking opportunity on the snipers over here on the left, trying to get these grenadiers behind his opponent's lines. Not sure if he's going to be able to make anything happen though. He didn't purchase any LMGs. LMGs are really useful for laser beaming snipers down at range. I don't know, he is inside the retreat path of those snipers. If that scout car can get close enough to them to force a retreat, this could be a big opportunity for Barton. I don't think he's going to get another opportunity like this anytime soon. Here it comes. Grenadiers leading the charge. Scout car moving to assist. Snipers are making their way to the right side. Backpedaling. Scout car will spot them. Oh man, those snipers are in danger. Huge burst of damage right there. I don't know if they're going to escape. There's 1 model lost. 2 models lost. Oh, are they really going to get away? Both snipers get away and a squad of grenadiers is wiped. PTRSs move up to screen the retreat path. Wow. Lucky break for Paul. The engagement will go to him. Grenadiers get wiped by sniper fire before immediately failing to kill those snipers on retreat with just a tiny sliver of health right there. Nice attempt by Barton on that flank. I'm honestly surprised those snipers got out of that alive. In all fairness, it cost him 180 manpower just to reinforce those snipers, so it's not a total win for Paul. He certainly had his fair share of losses. 180 manpower lost by Paul, 240 lost by Barton, losing that full grenadier squad, plus bleed on either side. Honestly, the engagement was, manpower-wise, probably pretty even. A lot of conscripts also died, so I don't know. You could probably go back and watch that engagement in slow motion and do the math yourself. At the end of the day, model losses are pretty even on both sides. Some of these model losses are sniper models. And Barton does win the engagement in the sense that he got his fuel point back. Minesweeper heading right. This point is still in Paul's control, but that's probably going to fall to Barton soon. And the scout car looking for opportunities here on the left side, where he does not think the combat engineers have been. They've been mostly occupied on the right. You can see he's scanning the right side with this Minesweeper to try and clear up any defenses that might have been planted. And he feels pretty safe sending the scout car left, since the only squad of combat engineers Paul has not been over here really to plant any mines or defenses. If you have pretty good vision and knowledge of what your opponent's combat engineers have been doing all game, you can be a little bit more aggressive with your scout car movements. And he's still going to avoid the center. He's still going to avoid this particular intersection, establishing good habits, looking for opportunities with that scout car while he has the chance. Alright, if there had been a mine there, that scout car would be dead, but he knows there's probably not. That's an extraordinarily defensive location to put a mine, especially in 1v1 on this map. When you see that the combat engineers are tied up on the right side pretty much all game. Conscripts working on the center fuel. Barton continues to work the left mostly. I don't know if that scout car is going to make it home. Guards moving to finish the job, and snipers are available to support against any infantry. There go 2 grenadier models. PTRSs can't find a line. If those snipers find a line against anything, it's going to be bad. PTRS shot connects with the scout car, and Barton feels very cornered right now. That squad just had to retreat. Rifle grenade trying to hit those guards. Oh, that was pretty on target, but I don't know if that's enough to save him. He needs to take out that scout car. He's losing all of his weaponry. Oh, he's forced to retreat. That rifle grenade. Conscript's moving up to finish the job from the south, but he was not able to recover his PTRS in time. AT grenade will destroy the scout car, and the snipers are forced to retreat by two by 2 Grenadier squads moving up to support from the south. Support arrived just in time for Barton to take that engagement and start winning territory over here. Taking control of the munitions point now. Paul, in the meantime, has been harassing the fuel, though. Paul playing a bit more of a fuel game. Barton playing a bit more of a munitions game, holding the right side munitions and working the left side simultaneously, which is, as Oster, very difficult to do, hold munitions on Minsk pocket. So he's off to a very strong munitions start. And as Oster, you definitely want that. And he has a stolen PTRS, which last patch would probably have made his Grenadiers a lot worse. This patch, probably pretty good weapon to pick up.
New anti-tank gun has arrived.
It is ours.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Combat engineers taking control of the right side munitions point. AT gun making its way to the front lines. Grenadiers available to support. There's the medic bunker from Barton, and a new AT gun is being purchased. I think Barton has learned a little bit from his friend Captain Price, setting up some early anti-tank defenses against Paul's guard motor coordination. Oh, nice minesweeper play. Very nice. And he's keeping that minesweeper over here, scanning the right side. Paul keeps sending that combat engineer squad right, so he knows exactly where all the mines and demos are going to be. Paul has only 1 combat engineering squad right now. Just fielded a second one, though, right here. If he sends that one left, maybe he can get some defenses planted over there. Oh, that S-mine field. Paul reacted to that a little bit late. Takes a lot of losses. He didn't even see that. I didn't see it either. S-mine field in the center. Takes out 6 models. It's going to make it difficult for those guards to continue screening against this Grenadier blob, which is making its way forward. 2 snipers is not enough to take on 12 Grenadiers solo. Combat engineers might be able to provide some vision. Paul's is going to be forced to make a full retreat. A full retreat off the battlefield just by some well-placed S-mines. Nice play by Barton. A lot of people don't expect S-mines that early. 13 minutes into the game and he walked right into that S-mine field there in the center. Just because it's kind of hard to see the minefield signs on Minsk Pocket. In my opinion, that's how S-mine fields, they just shouldn't have the warning signs. I think it shouldn't be map dependent whether your opponent notices the minefields or not. I like the idea of them just being normal mines that you can step on. Not really sure why they... I've never understood why S-mines give your opponent warning, honestly. I think it would be so much better if that were like a normal occurrence. Minesweeper fight over here on the right side. Pretty depressing. Like most minesweeper fights. Conscripts over here on the left side will be forced to disengage away from those Grenadiers. Paul doesn't want to retreat if he can avoid it. Snipers moving back, and you can tell that Barton has just been bullying these snipers so bad. They only have 12 kills between them at the 14-minute mark. 12 kills between 2 snipers at 14 minutes. That means Paul is averaging less than half of a sniper kill per minute per sniper. Which is just terrible. Stug E on the field from Barton, which means Paul knows about this and knows his opponent's commander selection now. I mean, Paul has probably gone guard motor. He could be mechanized support, but I think Barton probably assumes his opponent is guard motor. I'm actually almost surprised he went guard motor instead of mechanized support on this map. Mechanized support's not really a 1v1 commander, but on this map I would say it's pretty solid. The ISU 152, especially against this, performed quite well. Paul's going to retreat immediately, hearing those Stugs coming. I don't even know if that squad's going to get away. Full retreat from Paul again. How many times is he going to be completely pushed off the map by Barton here? Map control has just been abysmal this game, but it's Minsk Pocket, so your fuel control is generally easy to maintain. He will make it to Collins by the look of things. But the Stug E is probably one of the best units in the game for punishing your opponent for going straight for call-ins, which is ironic because you're going straight for call-ins. To punish your opponent for going straight to call-ins. But it really is extraordinarily good at it. We've seen that before in this tournament. OMG Pop punishing this exact strategy against Paradox. Paradox tried to stall for T-3485s and got boxed completely into his base by Strug E's because they arrived so much earlier, and guards were not able to fight them off. And a tier 1 opening from Paul leaves him vulnerable, but he's going to shift to tier 2. He actually shifted to tier 2 a while ago to give him access to the field gun, which is available here in the center screen. Paul has a pretty diverse army right now. 2 of every squad. Look how nicely mixed that is. 2 conscripts, 2 guards, 1 of each combat engineering utility, and then a field gun support his 2 snipers, protect from the Stugs. Oh man, he's trying to provide vision of those things, but it's so lethal. His combat engineers and guards get wiped so quickly. I don't even know if his field gun will survive. He needs to spread his snipers out as well. Grenadiers retreat from sniper fire, falling pretty low. Over here on the left side, guards are losing an engagement against grenadiers. And Paul wants to try and get some engine damage done, but I feel like that's a dead conscript squad if he exposes himself for too long. Over here on the right side, a minesweeper in the building will probably get forced away by grenadiers quite soon. And I think Paul may need another anti-tank weapon to deal with this. Either that, or he needs to plant a really good mine, or Barton needs to make some sort of mistake.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Paul is off to a rough start. 2 squad wipes during that engagement. Barely any damage inflicted on his opponent in return, other than a couple model losses on grenadiers, which Barton will be able to reinforce easily enough. Say that Barton definitely came out on top of that engagement. Paul falling behind for model losses. But again, once his T-3485s arrive, he may be able to punish what looks like it might be overzealous purchase of Stugs. Barton has prepared for the T-3485s with these 2 anti-tank guns, so as long as these Stugs stay within the protective zone that they create, Paul will have a somewhat limited ability to engage. Paul's going to have to execute very nicely with his snipers to take out those AT guns simultaneously while his tanks flank these Stugs, and he's probably also going to need to incorporate minesweeper support if Barton throws down any teller mines. He has planted an S minefield, which makes me think he's probably going to be planting teller mines somewhere. I don't see any though. They're kind of hard to spot on this map. Grenadiers moving up to try and clear out that field gun. Snipers very nicely positioned for this engagement. In range on those Grenadiers, but out of range of the Stugs. Minesweeper checking for tellers in this area. Got some knowledge that there are no teller mines, at least in this general zone, but he couldn't get any farther than that. Barton looks like he's going to throw some teller mines down now. He knows those T-34s are going to be here very soon. Maybe not. Just standing here for now. Double minesweeper from Barton rather than a flamethrower. On this map, that's certainly justifiable. Paul appears to have completely given up on planting mines. Against double minesweeper, that's probably also understandable. None of the defenses he's planted so far have killed anything. His opponent is too careful with those minesweepers, so his munitions are probably better spent on other things, unless he can wipe those minesweepers somehow. Field gun available over here. Snipers being hunted by the Stugi. Paul hears it coming through the fog of war. Guards need to reposition to a more safe location. That Grenadier squad is exposed, though. I don't know if they're going to survive their retreat path. Only one of those snipers needs to land its shot. Guards are forced to retreat. Here come the 85s. The AT guns are a little late to get into position for this engagement. Both of those Stugs are way overextended. That AT gun support is so far away. Barton, what are you doing? Both T-34-85 shots just missed, though. But I'm pretty sure both of these Stugs are dead no matter what Barton does. There goes the first one. Oh no, AT gun support is so far away. Barton will need like 3 consecutive miracles to save this, and he does not get a single one. Both Stugs destroyed, and Paul takes only a tiny little sliver of damage. I would be quite surprised if that Grenadier squad makes it home. The field gun is a little exposed. That might get taken out. Grenadiers trying to hide behind the building, but there's just nowhere to run. Okay, there they go. Field gun is exposed to danger, but it will simultaneously provide vision of this force that's coming, which is probably also a bit of an overextension by Barton. If those 2 AT guns get decrewed or destroyed by the T-34s, Barton will probably lose. I don't know if Paul should engage right here, though. There is Grenadier support available for at least one Panzerfaust. Paul's going to disengage. Panzerfaust does connect, though. That T-34 is going to go down. Paul should not have done... Wait, what? Where's the engine damage? Did that just hit the ground or something? Wow, Paul just got a very lucky break right there. Very lucky. This one takes engine damage, but it's probably going to be able to receive repairs. Finally, Paul's snipers are arriving to the engagement. If he walks those snipers into this S-mine field, that would be catastrophic. I hope he notices. Okay, he has noticed, I think. Yeah, he's noticed. He's not going to walk into those S-mines, but it is going to... I think... Okay. You're making me really nervous with these maneuvers, Paul. I don't know what you're doing. He can't get his minesweeper in range to provide a route for his infantry. He has to go all the way around the south. The Tiger is on the field and making its way up the left side to try and support in this engagement. Paul trying to do some map harassment during this, but that's going to get shut down by this Grin blob. And I think Paul's damaged engine T-34 might go down here if he can't round this corner. He just couldn't do it. Panzerfaust connected, and he lost his T-34 to AT guns that he could not get in range of to destroy. He had infantry support on the way, but a beautifully placed S-mine field completely shuts down that charge and forces another full retreat from Paul. Look at this play by Barton over here. That S-mine field blocking infantry movements will secure the kill on this T-34 and allow his anti-tank guns, despite walking all the way up the left side of the map, to get back to safety and be fine. Pretty amazing.
You now have Tiger tanks at your command.
So, Paul in a rough situation. Although he did destroy the 2 Stugs, the fact that his map control hasn't been great this game is costing him. Tiger arriving after 2 Stugs, and he himself has not that much. His next set of T-34s will not arrive for quite some time. T-34 just sustained engine damage. The AT guns trying to get in range to follow up on that are going to probably not make it in time. Doesn't need that many repairs, and there's vision blockers in the area. The Tiger also has a damaged engine and is taking its sweet time in getting it repaired. So the map is not going to change hands very much here. Paul needs to send 1 squad to harass the right side if possible, but he has very little map harassment potential with a double sniper opening. And he's lost a full squad of guards, a full squad of conscripts. So his 2 minesweepers are pretty much the only harassment unit he has. And one of them is tied up on the left side, which is about to get forced retreat. The other one is tied up in executing repairs. So Paul's map control is really suffering. He went with a build that required him to engage very cost effectively, and he failed to do so. Forced to retreat over and over again. Could not take map control, could not win engagements. Has been bullied completely off the map, and I don't think he's going to be able to pull ahead this game unless Barton loses this Tiger. And I don't know how that would happen. Yeah, the only real threat to it on the field is the single T-34-85, but Paul is going to field a second field gun, try and open up opportunities for himself to take out that Tiger should it make a mistake and let itself get buttoned or hit a mine or something while inside the arc of fire of those 2 AT guns. Grenadier forced to retreat over there on the left side. The snipers at 15 and 15 kills each. So, almost 1 kill per minute between 2 Soviet snipers. Again, pretty abysmal performance. An Oster sniper needs to manage at least 1.5 to 2 kills per minute. These snipers are operating on like 0.6 kills per minute each. Field gun sets up to engage this Tiger. T-34 will screen that Tiger away. Whoa, that huge field gun hit from way in the back puts that Tiger in a lot of danger. Field gun shots all penetrating. What is this RNG? I can't believe what I'm seeing. I think that Tiger's gonna go down. Wow, every shot penetrates the Tiger's frontal armor. Literally every shot in the engagement penetrates. Paul just got a miracle. I can't believe what I just saw. That was ridiculous. Sniper will be forced to retreat right there, but if I were Barton, I would be so frustrated right now. Paul just got such a lucky break. Tiger barely even exposed itself for any significant amount of time. Barton immediately tried to reposition it to safety, and it died anyway to one medium tank. Horrible, horrible turn of events for Barton. His second Tiger is still quite a ways away, and I think, judging by the current map control situation, Paul's second set of T-34s will arrive first. This is going to give Paul a pretty serious map advantage if he can push away those AT guns and prevent Barton from trading, which it looks like he should have no problem doing. Guards and snipers moving up. Those AT guns don't have any real support right now.
The enemy is down to 75 points.
The good news for Barton is that he has a massive victory point lead. Huge, huge map control advantage this game. He has all the time in the world to finish this game. The loss of that Tiger sucks, and it is a big momentum swing. But all of the hard work he's done in the early game to secure this big advantage means he has plenty of wriggle room to bounce back. Just needs to keep his cool, wait for his second Tiger, continue to play smart with his anti-tank guns, and just wrestle control of those victory points away from his opponent. For 65 more VPs should be manageable. Paul's going to have to execute flawlessly for the entire rest of the game just to have a shot. He needed that lucky break against that Tiger just to have a shot. So he was granted a miracle. Let's see if he can use that to wrestle back control of the game. He loses 3 more guard models on the exact same S-mine field from the very beginning of the game. Apparently he forgot it was there again. That S-mine field has robbed him of so much manpower. Barton going with Panzer Grenadiers next. Maybe he wants some Panzer Shreks. Maybe he wants a little more anti-sniper on the flanks with those infantry. There's a lot of possible roles for them on this battlefield. They struggle on Minsk Pocket a little bit because they can't close the distance very easily. We'll see what he decides to try and do. T-34 exposes itself to anti-tank gunfire there. Minesweeper moving up to try and look for any mines. He sweeps pretty much this entire area and spots none, so he knows that there are probably no S-mines or teller mines. No teller mines in this area. Snipers are a little clumped. One retreats with low health. It might have been a slightly premature retreat, but he just wants to play it safe. Grenadier squad will be forced to retreat. T-34 needs some repairs. One sniper still on the battlefield, but there's a lot of stuff to chew through. The T-34 by itself will go down very quickly to those AT guns if he leaves it exposed for too long. What is that T-34 doing? Needs to pull that back to safety. Wow, that was close. Conscript and Grenadier screen finally arrives, and because Paul's infantry forces have been so thin, he can't stop Barton from just walking forward with his AT guns and one Grenadier squad. Trying to take out his tanks. It's kind of a close call for that T-34, despite the fact that Barton was barely screening with any units at all. Taking control of the left side with Panzer Grenadiers, while conscripts try and trade over there on the right. A couple infantry squads here from Paul, moving to take control of the fuel point while that AT gun pulls back to safety back here. Paul executing some repairs in his base, healing up his AT gun, healing up his sniper.
The enemy has only 50 points remaining. Our opponents are seizing a sector.
I really hope Paul notices that S-mine field and doesn't walk his sniper into it. That one is a little easier to spot. Getting easier to see these minefield signs now that most of the trees and shrubbery in the center of the map is destroyed.
Enemy forces are securing
On the left side, Panzer Grenadiers will lose to guards, especially since the guards have yellow cover. Unless they get 5 more Panzerschreck snipes. Paul rapidly running out of time though. He cannot allow victory point harassment anymore. He decaps the right side, decaps the center. Left side will be under his control soon. T-34 is doing nicely on counter harassment. He might get one more long shot. Doesn't go for it. Doesn't even make the attempt. Tiger, fresh Tiger on the field. No fresh set of T-34s yet. He hasn't been able to collect the manpower. Going for engine damage. But Barton is the one who gets lucky that time. Wipes the squad with one shot. No engine damage inflicted. Guards may simply continue to defend over here on the left. Paul has 33 points left on the board. Any more victory point mistakes will probably cost him the game. I don't think he can afford any more mass retreats. He's mass retreated so many times, and look at what that has cost him. Barely any victory points. And a second Tiger arriving before a second set of T-34s.
It's ready to use.
Snipers could probably stand to spread themselves out a little bit. Flare deployed by Paul. He really wants vision of what's coming. Marked vehicle on that Tiger just drove straight into an AT gun wall. Finally gets some lucky bounces though. That sniper's falling low. Will be forced to retreat. AT guns firing on that T-34 and a Panzerfaust and a rifle grenade on that clump of infantry. 2 rifle grenades and both field guns fall extremely low. Guards just got wiped in the center circle. High explosive barrage from that field gun not having much of an effect. Huge engagement, and it looks like Barton's forces are just too strong. But there's the flank from Paul's T-34s in the back, trying to delay capture of the center point with his minesweepers. Lucky death crit. Tiger does not get a second shot off though. Will Paul be able to somehow salvage this game? I don't know. Conscripts being rushed to the center to try and do something. All of Barton's infantry will be forced to retreat. Conscripts dive into the capture circle to try and decap this point. They may be able to do so. Only 1 squad of Grenadiers left to defend here. Paul has almost no infantry forces left, but he does have a huge armor advantage right now. Grenadiers will not be able to get into the capture circle before it is decapped, which means Barton is now making a mad dash for the left side VP. Paul doesn't have any units that can do the same. And he couldn't get Vet 1 on either of these tanks, so they cannot cap. Paul needs to immediately send a T-34 to the left side to shut down this attempt. I don't know. He has one tank has damaged engine. The other one, if he leaves the area with both of these tanks, he won't be able to defend this VP. He has nothing moving to harass the right side VP. Minefield over here as well to make it even harder. Paul just has no capping power. He's just going to get out-capped. He can't stop this VP bleed. The 1 victory point he holds is about to be lost, and snipers are moving to screen and protect the T-34. I think we're looking at the end of the game unless Paul executes some sort of miracle engagement.
Victory is in our grasp. The enemy has 25 points remaining.
He really needed to harass the right side at some point during all of this. He just doesn't have any manpower for any more squads though. He took huge infantry losses during the engagement for the center. T-34 goes to the right side. It's not going to hit Vet 1 during this. There's not enough potential damage for it to receive and deal. And it just got its engine destroyed by that Panzerfaust, which means it can't even move. And Paul is triple capped. GG.
They only have 10 points remaining.
Despite some lucky / well executed tank engagements by Paul, it doesn't matter if you can't keep your infantry alive. Well played, Barton. Short break, and we will go into game 2.